This video is sponsored by sellcashier.com. Sellcashier compares iPhone prices on the internet and then gives you a quick quote and the most cash for a used iPhone. It's simple, fast, and secure. Get a quote, ship your iPhone, and get paid. Pretty excited about what's inside these packages. It is the iPhone 8 Plus and also the new Series 3 Apple Watch. I'm putting Android aside for just a moment. Try it out, see how it goes. I'm actually looking forward for the iPhone 10 as well. I can't wait for that to come in. Well, I can't wait to be able to order it, period, and then for it to come in. But that'll be here soon enough. But for now, this is the unboxing and first impressions video. I'm doing the unboxing part first, and then I'm going to use it for about 24 hours and then give my thoughts about it after using it for 24 hours, not just my initial reaction once I open it, because you know how Apple is. Once you get an iPhone, you can't necessarily have it all set up as soon as you open it up. You got to connect it to iTunes, get all that kind of stuff situated. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get this open on up. Let's go for the Apple Watch first, and I'm guessing it's going to be this long one. Boom. Well, there's a pull tab. I don't need my knife. It's somewhat satisfying opening it up with that pull tab, but I mean, I'm a dude. I like to use knives. Probably have to use a knife to, I don't know if I'll have to use a knife at all. Yep, I'll have to use the knife. So sweet. Oh man, that's a long old box for a watch. It feels like it should be like this gargantuan long band, but I know that's not the case. So, all right, yay. I'm really excited about getting that. This is the 42 millimeter. This is not the cellular one. I didn't get the cellular one because one, I'm on Cricket Wireless. They don't support the Apple Watch cellular brand yet. I was actually on a conversation with them. I think it was direct message on Twitter. And they said pretty much they don't have any plans to support it. So that's a bummer. So I saved a little bit of money for now. I'm actually been frustrated with Cricket lately because the calling has not been the greatest. It's been kind of difficult to place a call. That should not be a struggle. So here we go. We're getting closer to the Apple Watch itself. But I want to finish that story about the Cricket. I've been using the HTC U11 and I'm curious if it's because it's the phone or if it's the network. So once I put that SIM card into the iPhone, and see how that goes. And that's going to determine my future with Cricket. If it doesn't get any better, I'm switching to T-Mobile and try that out again. Ooh-wee. All right. So we got basically some documentation here. Got some instructions of how to use the bands. Some more. Looks like we got an extra band, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I got the silver and then the frost gray band. I like to get something that I can mix with browns and blacks. Black looks cool, but I just like to have the option to wear brown if I want to. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that way, but that's the way I do it. That's pretty cool. Look at this guy. I'll end up putting some third-party bands on it. I'm not going to just keep this one. I'll probably more than likely use this, like if I do any kind of running, jogging, workouts, things like that. I'd feel more comfortable about getting this kind of sweaty versus a leather band, which I'm hoping I'm going to get something from Nomad. Those have some really cool options. All right, Apple Watch Series 3. The extra band here basically is a different size. This is the medium and long size, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be, small to medium. So I'm going to keep this inside the packaging because I don't plan on using that because I have big hands, big wrist. Let's see what else we got. Got our charging adapter and then our charging cord. And it basically charges like in a magnetic kind of connection. That's what this is here for. Actually, I need to get an Apple Watch stand again. I gave the one that I had, I did a review on one quite a while ago and I gave that away. And I'll have to get something else. All right, so there's the Apple Watch. I'm not going to turn it on just yet. This is just going to be the unboxing part because you can't do much with the Apple Watch outside of the iPhone as far as getting it set up and things like that. So let's put all this to the side. I'll just take the stuff that I need out, put the stuff I don't need back in. I like unboxing tech. I don't care what it is. It could be the cheapest, crappiest piece of tech around, or the most premium that's available. And I like to unbox it just as much as the other. Cell Cashier purchases iPhones from all major US carriers and currently only operate in the United States. It is simple, fast, and secure. Get a quote, ship your phone, and get paid. Apple Watch sets it aside. Let's get to the iPhone. I just want to get this all set up so I can start using it. All right, get to use my knife. All right, so here's what the packaging was like. It's pretty good. All right, there we go. Here it is. And I went for the 64 gig one. Normally I like to get, the larger size, but 64 is going to do well for now. Kind of like the plan that I have as far as using the iPhone is, one, my wife has the iPhone 7 Plus right now. I'm going to use this up until the iPhone 10 comes out. I'll use the iPhone 10 and then my wife will take over this 8 Plus. And that will be kind of like the plan of action for how the iPhone's going to be used in the Bain house. All right, well, it looks like we might be able to just, yep, oh, sweet. No knife needed for that part. All right, here we go. iPhone 8 Plus. It's got a glass back now, wireless charging. Wireless charging has been around for a while, but it's definitely going to be a lot more adopted at this point because Apple has jumped on board. It's definitely feels like it's got more weight to it than the 7 Plus. I really like white devices, and that's what I like that. I like white devices. I do wish that they would have included a fast charger with this, quick charge. iPhone supports fast charging, but they don't ship fast charging adapters, so that's kind of a bummer about that kind of thing. Got our earbuds, and then we also have our adapter because there's no headphone jack. If you want to use headphones that have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, you have to use this adapter with that. I typically use pretty much Bluetooth everything these days, so it's not a huge deal to me about getting rid of the headphone jack. It's just kind of like one of those things you're gonna have to accept. And here's our charging cable. Sweet. So I'm going to take all this out. I'm going to test it all out. Like, I might not use these very often. I've been tempted to get the AirPods just to have the experience and see what they're like. I've not used those yet, so I might end up getting some. I'm not too sure yet. If you're interested in me giving my 2 cents about the AirPods, let me know down in the comments. This might end up just being pretty much it as far as the unboxing goes. Ooh, there's that nice plastic wrap peel coming off. Glass back again. Let's boot this on up. Experience the first boot up together. Maybe. There we go. It's like, please turn on. So what questions do you guys have about the 8 Plus? One of the things I want to try to answer is it worth getting? I know a lot of people are saying there's no point in getting the 8s or the 8 Plus if the 10 is coming out. There might be some advantages of using the 8 Plus, or you might not want to get rid of the fingerprint sensor. There's some of that kind of stuff. I want to see what the performance is like. It's got a new chip in it. It's got different camera technology. So, I mean, it's going to be better than the 7 Plus. I'm just wondering how much better. Ooh la, let's go ahead. Oh, that click is so nice. Insert a valid SIM with no pin lock to activate phone. Quick start. It's got an option here. It says, if you have an iPhone or iPad running iOS 11, bring it nearby to sign in automatically. I've got an iPad Air 2 that's running iOS 11, and I have my work iPhone. So I'm going to get this all signed in. I'm going to get it all set up, and then I'm going to give you my 2 cents after I use it for 24 hours. I've got to get the Apple Watch connected to it as well. I mean, it's no offense to Apple kind of stuff, but just like, not much to be surprised about with these two products. Like with the iPhone 10, I'm definitely going to give like a first impressions as I'm unboxing it, because it's like a different style. It's a different build. It's just a different iPhone. So I'm an Android user for the most part. So I'll be kind of coming at this from the angle of using Android for the most part, coming over to iOS. Like I use iOS on a daily basis for the most part because of my work iPhone 6 Plus, but I don't use it nearly as much as like my personal daily driver. And I've been using the Gear S3 as my smartwatch. Like I love using a smartwatch with my phones. So that's a lot of the reasons why I got an Apple Watch, because there's not much of an option out there to use a smartwatch with an iPhone to get like a full experience kind of thing. Pebble used to be the thing I would recommend aside from an Apple Watch, but we all know that pretty much the Pebble isn't really worth bothering anymore. So yeah, anyways, enough of me rambling on. I can't wait to get this thing all activated and then use it for those 24 hours and get back to you guys about what I think. I'll also be publishing some case reviews and some tempered glass, things like that you might be interested in. Hoping to get a SLICKWRAPS wrap for this. I'll leave a link down below so you can actually order those now if you want to. That way you can have this wrapped up. It's got a glass back. I know that they said it's the most durable glass that's ever been put on a phone, but I just like to keep things as pristine as possible, and a wrap definitely helps with that, and also using a case along with it. So all those kind of reviews will be going along with this Apple iPhone 8 Plus. I think there's actually wraps for the Apple Watch as well. So yeah, there's so many videos to produce and put out there. Still got my Note 8 review to come out. Oh, what else? My Mate 9 review still needs to be done. A lot to do, and I can't wait to do it for you guys. Add me on Twitter and Instagram. I like to post over there frequently. I hope to start posting back on Periscope some more. If you want to see some Periscope broadcasts, maybe some behind the scenes, just normal tech talk or whatever it is, let me know, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Oh, I said peace. Like that's MKBHD's deal. Welcome to the first impressions part of this video. I've had the iPhone 8 Plus for over 24 hours at this point, but solid use of 24 hours at least. What I want to do for this part is just kind of go over my initial thoughts and reactions about the iPhone 8 Plus. There's so much noise in my neighborhood. I'm walking the opposite direction because my neighbor has a shop vac going and it's just loud. I'm actually recording this part with the iPhone 8 Plus. The unboxing part was done with the Note 8. So let me know what you think about the difference of quality, or if there is a difference of quality. I think both do pretty well. I have the iPhone 8 Plus mounted on basically a selfie stick just for being able to hold it and walk at the same time. It just kind of works out better that way. Just no matter where I go, there's some noise. There's someone using a drill or something over across the street. We'll just deal with the noise, and it kind of actually helps out with discerning what the noise cancellation is like on the iPhone 8 Plus, if you can still hear me rather well over all the noise that's going on. I also am curious about the auto settings. Like I don't necessarily do like any kind of tweaking when I do these kind of videos. I just kind of want to see what the auto kind of settings are like. Stability wise, it looks pretty good. Audio wise, I'm curious what it's going to be like. Also, like the auto white balance and autofocus. Is the picture bouncing back and forth with autofocus like I experienced on the Note 8? That was one of the differences I'm seeing here. I'm not seeing that happen on this. But when I change the lighting, like a darker background, does the white balance look any worse? I'm spinning around to kind of make you dizzy? No, I'm just kidding. But just to kind of show you how the white clouds in the back, they are going to be different than what you see if I go towards this area to where it's a little bit darker. I don't know. Didn't really change too much. That's good. It's really good, actually. Also going to throw some clips on top of this video. Just some different photos and video clips, slow-mo, all that fun stuff that you can do with an iPhone camera, just to show some of the capabilities and see how well they do. But I'm also giving my first impressions of the Apple Watch, not just the iPhone. The main reason why I got an Apple Watch wasn't because it's the newest thing, but if you're gonna get an iPhone and you like smartwatches, the Apple Watch is pretty much the only way to go, so I might as well have just gotten the Series 3, and that's what I did. I didn't get the cellular one because one, I'm on Cricket Wireless. They don't support that technology yet, so it would have been a waste for the most part. I mean, there's some capabilities, being able to get more storage, things like that. But honestly, even if I had like T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, I don't think I would have got the cellular one anyways, just save the money. Because you're gonna spend an extra 10 bucks a month on that. The times that I would want to be separate from my phone are the times I need to just be separate from my phone, so there's no point in having the capabilities to take a text message or phone call. Let's just talk about the Apple Watch. It's really good. I'm wearing it now. It's probably one of the most comfortable smartwatches I've ever put on. They just do a really good job with that department. I love the haptic feedback vibration motor. It's just so good. It's the best out there. The same goes for the fingerprint reader home button on the iPhone. It's just the best. No other company does it like Apple as far as the vibration goes. As far as performance goes with the Apple Watch, it's been just fine. There's no complaints. There's honestly not too much to talk about with the Apple Watch. It has all the features that what you expect, health features, telling the time, notifications. You're able to interact really well with the notifications. You got different options of interaction. You can do voice, you can do emojis, you can draw, you can type. It's just a really cool experience. Like I said, the main reason why I got it is because if you're gonna use an iPhone, an Apple Watch is pretty much the best way to go. I was coming from using the Samsung Gear S3, which is amazing. Using Samsung Pay is just freaking awesome. I'm gonna miss that part about using the Gear S3 a lot. So yeah, it's been a pretty good first impressions. No complaints about the Apple Watch whatsoever. So that's a good thing. There's nothing to complain about. Moving on to the iPhone. Just things that kind of come first to mind is that it's blazing fast. It just is so buttery and fluid of an experience. It's really nice to experience that. There's no lag at all. Anytime I've opened up any apps whatsoever, it's just a nice fluid experience. I was curious what the battery life is going to be like, and it's been really good. I've been able to get well use of a day, sometimes even a little bit more. The standby on an iPhone is just the best out there. It's mind-blowing sometimes how good the standby is compared to some other phones that I use like Samsung or HTC. Those guys, I mean, if you were to set your phone down overnight, you're still gonna lose like 20% of battery life with it just sitting there. But with an iPhone, it's very incremental. iOS 11 looks great. It's nice and fluid. They still need to improve things like the notification management. That's just a pain in the butt. One of the things that I was really bummed out about with iOS 11 was I was playing around with iOS 11 on my iPad Air 2, and it's got a really great keyboard. You're able to do this flick action to where it goes to a character or something like that. And that's something I'm used to with Android, with a SwiftKey keyboard or Google keyboard, Gboard, whatever you want to call it. You don't even have to leave the front page of the keyboard to get to the characters that you want. And they have that on the iPad. I want that on the iPhone too. Finally, the camera. The camera is just cool. The portrait modes are really fun to mess around with. I can't wait to get the front-facing stuff once the iPhone 10 comes along, because that's gonna be really cool. It's gonna take the selfie game to a whole new level. It's just such a fluid experience. Like, that's the descriptive word that I can think of when it comes to using the iPhone 8 Plus and iOS 11. It's just a fluid experience. The camera, the quality is so nice. Whether it's a photo, video, slow-mo, whatever it is, it looks good, it's easy to use. There's no issues with it. That's pretty much my first impressions of the iPhone 8 Plus. It's been a good experience so far. No major complaints other than, really, it's not the iPhone's fault. It's like apps like with Twitter. When I click a YouTube link, I want to go to YouTube app and not go to a browser within Twitter or even go to a browser experience. So my neighbor's using a power washer now. I was hoping he'd be done by the time I got back to the house after our little walk together. But I can't wait to use this phone more. I can't wait to come out with my full review of the iPhone 8 Plus. Pretty much just like it's pretty much a review of the phone, but also iOS 11. That's the thing about an iPhone. Hardware is rock solid, it's great. But it's really where the software comes in that makes the experience what it is. If you've been a subscriber for a while, thank you so much for coming back and watching this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that red button, hit the notification bell. You won't miss any videos when I come out. Also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram. I try to post over there on a frequent basis. Love to have a conversation with you. And until then, guys, stay techie.